We've heard that Kolkata is a top-tier food city, and let's be honest, food is the #1 reason we travel.
This is why you travel to India. For food like this.
And just a few days before this trip, the BBC published an article where a famous Kolkata-based chef outlined his favorite street food in the city.
So in this video, we're going to attempt to hit all of his recommendations and then some in one day. We'll be crisscrossing the city in search of kathi rolls, cutlets, puchka, and more. So we better get started.
Ma!
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Let's go.
For our first stop, we were searching for a humble stall in Gariahat market where Gita Mashi serves piping plates of kochuri and cholar dal.
I think we're getting closer. It doesn't help that I actually can't pronounce kochuri very well, so I get a lot of blank stares.
We had to enlist some help in finding it, and when we did, we were skeptical we were in the right place, as there was no woman in sight. But like magic, moments later, Gita Mashi arrived, fitting the precise description of her in the article, a smiling woman in a simple cotton sari.
Do you want to try chola dal?
Yes, please.
Chola dal?
Yes, please.
Or ghugni?
Chola dal.
Chola dal.
We already tried this.
We had motivated Hayes with the fact that this stall was near a fish market, always his favorite stop in any city. And while he wasn't particularly patient while we enjoyed our breakfast, where there's fish, there are cats. So he was quickly occupied in the beautiful courtyard next door.
So there's two things he recommended from Gita Mashi's stall. One was the pad thai paratha with chola dal. He also has ghugni, which became one of our favorites in the village. And then we're going to try the kochuri next. I will say, the way that they prepare paratha is not for the faint-hearted, but my tip is when coming to India and trying street food, get over your American standards of hygiene, because I'm sure it's delicious. Famous last words, maybe, but to me, it's always worth the risk as long as it tastes delicious in the moment. I mean, it tastes delicious.
Kochuri is a deep-fried flatbread stuffed with a thin layer of ground green peas or sometimes lentils, and it's served with cholar dal, a mildly sweet split pea curry made with coconut, ginger, and other
The
spices.
dal is quite sweet.
Yeah, you're right, it's really sweet. I've not had a dal like that. That's sweet before. I wonder if they use like jaggery or something.
Should we try the kochuri? So this is kochuri and ghugni. Ghugni is peas with coconut and stuff that we fell in love with in the village. I thought, because I'm an idiot, that he had served me luchi with ghugni because it looks very similar to me, who was only introduced to Bengali food last week. But he said these are stuffed. I'm gonna be honest, it tastes just like luchi to me. Very good luchi, very good ghugni.
Oh man. This is why you travel to India. For food like this. It's so freaking good.
But don't leave your food out filming a dumb YouTube video for that long.
Unfazed by cockroaches and with absolutely zero regrets, we made a pit stop at the fish market.
Just one other thing I'll say about street food in India, like obviously pick the busy places, and that place, the whole time we were there was no fewer than 5 people in line. It's like 8:30 on a Thursday morning, so busy. However, if you dilly-dally and film a silly YouTube video, the cockroach will find your plate immediately.
Don't know what it is about a fish market, but you can always guarantee to find really good food. I think there's like multiple places around the world where we've been to a fish market and there's always like a fantastic food restaurant, street food, whatever.
Pete's right, there's something about fishermen that across the world they all seem to be foodies. And this guy, who had helped us locate the stall earlier, couldn't wait to hear what we thought about our breakfast.
If I was to work in a fish market, that's what shirt I would wear. My silk couplet. Love it. Good style set.
When we were finished perusing the fish market, we hopped in an Uber headed for Tangra, Kolkata's own Chinatown.
What an adventure. This did not look like an area where there was going to be a restaurant. And then, all of a sudden, we spotted this sign. Let's hope it's open. I just saw a sign that said closed on Wednesday. Luckily, it's Thursday.
So you might not know this about me if you're new here, but we lived in Mumbai for 2 years, and while there I created a street food tour with my colleague Asim. And so days like this, where the first 2 stops have just been so full of character and a little bit tricky to find, and the food's delicious. It's just my favorite way to travel, and so I don't know who this Auroni Mookerjee guy is, but I have a lot of respect for him because he's created a little itinerary for us. I hope he doesn't mind us putting his BBC article on YouTube. But I'm just so happy. This is like my perfect travel day so far.
Daddy, can you keep coloring this with me?
So the waiter was like, is that all you want? Do you want chili chicken? Do you want roast pork? And the answer is yes, I want all of those things. But we're eating at least 5, probably 6 places today, so unfortunately we have to pace ourselves. What we ordered is Singara chow. It's like a chow mein, but Singara is what they call like samosas here in West Bengal. And this is often referred to as Singara chow because some people observe that when you fold these wontons, it looks as if you're folding a samosa, a Singara. So let's try it. And I think it is breakfast, he said. It's open 8 to 12:30, and then again in the afternoon. It's just so crazy having like delicious Chinese food in India. I haven't really had that before.
Well, it's not that crazy. This is India's largest and only Chinatown, an area that traces back to the early 20th century when Chinese immigrants settled here, bringing along their culture, traditions, and of course, their food. Today, around 2,000 Chinese Indians live here, and you'll find a handful of restaurants offering up Indian Chinese dishes.
It's really porky, which is also like not a flavor I'm used to having very much in India. What a perfect morning.
If you're looking at this place on the map and you're seeing that it's a little bit on the edge outside of town, don't be put off. It is well worth it, and I know we're trying just one dish here, but I can just imagine lots of other people are having multiple dishes.
They only have 5 dishes, so you might as well order them all.
Just do it. It's an experience getting out here, seeing this little neighborhood's really fascinating, but this food is really good.
Man, we are 2 for 2 on stops this morning. As I mentioned earlier though, obviously trying street food anywhere in the world carries with it a little bit of risk. And one thing that helps us feel a little bit more comfortable when we're traveling is having travel health insurance. We've used Safety Wing's Nomad insurance for over 3 years now, but now that we have a home base in Chiang Mai, we're a little bit curious about their new Nomad Health. Nomad Health is interesting because it covers you in non-emergency situations too. So that includes things like hospital stays, mental health support, even maternity care. You can even add dental and vision coverage. It covers you in over 175 countries. You can easily get reimbursed for claims in 14 days, and as I always say, their customer service is top-notch. You can connect with a live agent in under a minute. So if you're curious, there is a link in the description. It's super easy, and I encourage you to check it out to have a little peace of mind when you're out adventuring like us.
Can I say something?
Yeah?
And if you're going to the restaurant back here, it's like up there, it's a little bit flooded. That's my mommy.
And with that, on to our next stop.
Then we were on the hunt for what is potentially the most iconic Kolkata dish, the Kati roll. But excuse us while we get a little confused on where to find it.
When we walked into our 3rd stop, Tandoor Park, it didn't feel quite right. It's not as atmospheric as the first 2 places, but we're here for a Kati roll. Now this isn't Nizam's, which is the place that is credited with inventing the Kati roll, but this is the one in the article that we are following, and he recommended it because it's classic. They're not doing any frills, any additions. But they don't have them in the restaurant. You actually are supposed to get them from the takeaway counter downstairs. So we're gonna have a fresh lime soda and a lassi, and then do that.
And 1 egg mutton roll.
So what's a Kati roll? It's what you get when you take a flaky paratha and wrap it around some type of meat kebab, add some onion, some sauce if you wish, maybe a fried egg, and a squeeze of lime. Perfection.
That is so good. This is probably the best one I've ever had. It's so, I don't know, something about seeing it all being prepared and cooked. But this like paratha is so flaky and delicious. And the flavors and everything that's going on in this. Crispy onions.
We had one. Soham brought us one at the start of our Durga Puja tour. That's a couple videos ago. I actually like that one better, and I don't know where it's from, but this is very good. I wish I didn't get whatever that red sauce is.
Ketchup, probably. Just my least favorite condiment of all time. Anyway, let's keep going. We had some downtime at the hotel while we waited for the afternoon spots to open up and for our stomachs to free up a bit more space. Don't get me wrong, we're professionals, but this is a lot of food in one day. The first stop after the break proved unsuccessful. Dilip Da seemed to have taken a break and his puchka stall sat empty.
Is this the place that we're gonna go to?
Well, it's not open right now.
This is the place?
Yeah.
Oh, but if it was open, I was gonna get one of these.
Oh yeah. Puchka is like pani puri. It's one of my favorite foods. He's clearly not open yet. It said 4, but by the looks of this street, this is also like an evening thing. Perhaps we'll try later. I will say of all of the things on the list, I was most nervous about pani puri. Pani's water, puchka, excuse me, because you dip it in water, which obviously you want to be very careful with. I was maybe planning on trying a dahi version, but it looks like there's no puchka in our future right now. However, we did get to have some puchka on our Durga Puja tour, which is a few videos back, and we were with a guide Soham, who knows a vendor from his street food tour and actually makes it with mineral water. So if you want to see that, you can check out that video. I'm bummed about this though.
And that's when we went a little bit rogue. The BBC article was all about food, but with nothing to wash it all down. So that's why we added a pit stop to Broadway Bar.
This is our first time today going off script from the BBC article. This is Broadway Bar, and our friend Priyanka, who if you watch our next video recommended a few spots from here, said that this was a pretty classic bar. We love a classic bar. It is very atmospheric. I'm drinking a draft Edelweiss, where I guess is German, Austrian, I don't know, Indian?
It's that domestic.
Yeah. Great. The best part is they allow haze to come.
Thirst quenched, we bid farewell to Broadway Hotel in search of prawn cutlet. This is Alan's, and it's been serving up British area recipes and classic Bengali dishes for over 100 years.
Love a tiny little restaurant.
This is Alan Restaurant. It's 140 years old. The outside says 125, the menu says 140. It's old. And we're here for prawn cutlet. Now the reason this one I think is special is because it's in pure ghee. It's like a freshwater prawn. I don't know. Looks good.
That's big.
Big. So in the article he described this, it was like a really good tempura batter / like the best fish and chips you've ever had. And I would say that's really accurate. Like it's a familiar taste, like fish and chips. But it's really crispy. I like that. I wasn't sure. I heard like big freshwater prawn. I saw them pull it out and it was like one massive prawn, like a langoustine. It was, I don't totally understand it, but the other thing that Kolkata I think is known for is an egg devil, which is like a Scotch egg. We wanted mutton, they didn't have that, but this is fish. It's not the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. No, it's also not the yummiest thing I don't know that one's for me.
I was very dubious about the fish and chip reference, but that's incredible. That tastes a lot like fish and chips.
Having completed all 5 stops on the chef's list, or at least attempting to, it was time to go rogue. In addition to the Kati rolls, when I told Bengali friends we'd be visiting Kolkata, another dish they all insisted we try was Kolkata Biryani.
We've gone off script again, but Pete loves biryani. So I don't know why I'm talking, but Pete loves biryani and Kolkata has their own version of biryani. We were told, again by Priyanka, to eat at one of 3 places. I think she said Nusrat, Arsalan, which is where we are, or Shiraz. I'm sure everybody has different opinions. This looks delicious. He said they were famous for their mutton biryani. I know I should be eating with my hands, but I don't want to right now.
What really sets Kolkata biryani apart is the potato. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions on if this is going to be the best biryani you can have in India.
That's good, thank you.
For me, any biryani is more or less good biryani, but this won't be among the most memorable things I ate in West Bengal.
When we lived in Mumbai, we used to order biryani probably like once or twice a week.
From where?
From a few places. Kanekas was one of them. We lived in Bandra, for any of you that know Kanekas. But what I used to add to it, which I think is like a must, is like chopped up crisps, like potato chips, and you just sort of like sprinkle them on top, it really finishes off the biryani.
People probably
in my
respected
opinion.
us up until this moment.
Let me know in the comments because I felt,
It's like a pop out in Kerala kind of
yeah,
situation.
adds a bit of crunch.
And a boo boo baby.
What happened? I went to the bathroom and now there's a flaming brownie on the wall. What happened is that while I was in the restroom, Hayes charmed the waitstaff, something that's not particularly uncommon, resulting in a sizzling brownie being delivered to our table.
So, should we not go to ice cream?
No, I'm still going to ice cream.
Yep, lucky for Hayes, it was a 2-dessert night, but not without trying once more to get some puchkas.
Let the record show our commitment. We came back to Dilip Das Puchka stall. He's not here. But when we drove away from here the last time, we noticed just up the street was a natural ice cream, which is our favorite, and I think the perfect way to
Ice cream! Ice cream!
end this long day of eating.
No.
Been a little bit of a crisis. So this is natural. It's a Mumbai-based ice cream place, but it's obviously in other parts of India. It's our favorite ice cream. My go-to order is mango or coconut, or mango and coconut, but they have a seasonal ginger candy. I think I have to stray. May I have a cone of ginger candy, please?
I really love roasted almond, like that was my flavor.
No, you gotta go fruit. You gotta go mango coconut.
I know, oh no, yeah, tender coconut I used to love as well.
Or the anjir. You have anjir?
Daddy.
Oh yeah, the anjir is good.
Good and mango.
Pete reminded me to tell our natural story, which you probably heard if you've been watching our India videos for a while. But when we lived in Bandra, we could order delivery, and I could do it so quick that I would call them. They obviously would have your like information down. That I think my record is like 7 seconds. It would be like, hi, mango, 2 cones or whatever, and they would bring a tub of ice cream and the cones, and then I would be like, please don't break the cones. I think I had sent them back once when the cones were broken. Was it 7 seconds? What was the record? It was something crazy.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous, but this really is the best ice cream in the whole of India. I wish they would like go international.
And on that note, how did we do? What a perfect day. I'm exhausted. That was tough work. So, anyway, let us know how we did. What did we miss? What looked the best? We'd love to hear from you, and we will see you in the next video.
And thanks to who was the chef? What was his name?
Yeah, Auroni Mookerjee. Great tips. Really appreciate it. 5 out of 5. Perfect recommendation.
Oh yeah.
System shut down.